With the release of the new iPhone and phones becoming 5G ready, is this industry ready to keep up with the hardware? Let's take a look at the major phone carriers. All right, so Apple came out with their news about the new phone. Man, I'm going to buy everything new. I already told my wife. She looked at me and said, huh? I want a new phone. I've got 3 iPads. I've got an iPad Pro, an iPad Air, and an iPad Mini. I think it's time to replace all of them. I've got 2 notebooks. I think it's time to upgrade them as well. So with all of the phones that are now coming out from Apple that are going to be 5G, carriers look to solidify customer base with iPhone deals. All right. Now, the big thing is, are these companies ready with their 5G? All right. Are they ready with their 5G? I was with Sprint that turned over into T-Mobile. I don't have 5G on my iPhone 11 Pro Max. Do you get any 5G at all in Charlotte?
Just in Charlotte.
Yeah, Joey will get 5G in Charlotte. I'm hardly ever in Charlotte. I live up in Lake Norman, so I'm not in Charlotte that often. But 5G, even on the 11, is there. But now the phones are coming out with bona fide 5G. Are the mobile companies keeping up? And not only that, to get a piece of the iPhone 12 business, all of the major carriers are trying to get and keep their customers. In the presentation, though, Apple did talk a lot about Verizon more so than any other carrier, because evidently Verizon must have some really good bona fide 5G as compared. I'm moving over from T-Mobile. My wife already started going to AT&T. I'm probably moving over to AT&T as well. But my question is, are these companies ready for the 5G influx that's going to happen with the Apple product? So what I did in my watch list, I looked at some of the mobile carriers. So what did I look at? I looked at Verizon. I looked at was Verizon the only one that I actually know? It was Verizon, T-Mobile, and AT&T. How come I didn't put them all in here? All right, let's go with TMUS.
It's Glenn's fault.
And AT&T. No, it was Joey's fault because you pull up the wrong story. Anyway, so we'll go look at, first off, where they sit in the list. Oh, Verizon is about halfway down. T-Mobile is right below it, and AT&T is towards the bottom of the list. So these are the carriers, the 5G carriers. Let's see what they look like. Verizon is trading at 57 with a value of 51, slightly over its value. T-Mobile, on the other hand, remember, they picked up Sprint, so they picked up all of the debt that came with Sprint to merge into one. Trading at 114 with a value of 29, and AT&T trading at 27 with a value of 24. All of these are pretty much at or overvalued. T-Mobile is the most overvalued. Let's go look at the long-term upside potential on the stocks. Verizon, relative value below 1. AAA corporate bonds should outperform Verizon over the next 1 to 3 years. T-Mobile, RV at 0.31. AAA corporate bonds should outperform T-Mobile over the next 1 to 3 years, whereas AT&T does have some upside. Relative value at 1.03. It is above 1, so it's favorable. It's not above 1 by a lot, but I would rather hold AT&T long-term as far as a mobile carrier. Let's look at the safety. Verizon's got a relative safety at 1, dead even flat. So when earnings comes out, it may or may not meet earnings. Whereas T-Mobile's got a relative safety at 1.19. Relatively a safer stock, even though relative value, the upside potential may not be there, but from a safety perspective, to be a little bit more of a value play from that perspective. And AT&T's got a safety of 0.80, so the earnings may or may not be there as well. Looking at all 3 stocks, none of the RTs are above the value of 1, so none of these mobile carriers are in an uptrend right now. Real quick, Verizon's got earnings of $4.90. Now, keep in mind, our earnings per share are 12 months forecasted. 12 months forecasted out, all right? Why is that important? Because I'd rather know where the earnings are going to be for a stock than just seeing what the raw number is right now. The raw number is not going to help me. But is the earnings rising or not? Earnings growth rate on Verizon, negative. They're growing their earnings at a negative clip. T-Mobile, growing their earnings at a negative clip of -6%, and AT&T growing their earnings at a negative rate as well. Interesting. Why are the earnings in negative territory? A lot of turnover. I think a lot of it has to deal with the turnover in people moving from mobile carrier to mobile carrier. Very interesting. So they're not growing their earnings, none of them. So as far as are they keeping up or is the news affecting them adverse, I'm not sure I'm ready to hold any of these long term yet. So let's go look at their graphs. So by analysis, I'm not thinking I'm ready to really jump on board with any of them. Look at Verizon. Recently went below that 20-day exponential moving average. But how about if you combine the power of going above that value of the 20-day exponential moving average and using the VectorVest indicator RT? RT above 1 tells you the stock's in an uptrend. Look at that run. Look at that run. Now, RT did not go below 1 until the stock stopped moving sideways and went down. Was that a great opportunity using RT as an indicator to get in? Absolutely. Again, you won't find it anyplace else but in VectorVest. T-Mobile, same kind of scenario. Stock's price above the 20-day exponential moving average, RT above 1. How about when it fell? RT went below 1. Could you have taken that profit off the table? Yes. Could I have gotten back in? I sure could have when the stock's price went back above the 20-day, RT went above 1, and currently the stock's price fell. I can't protect you against that. Somebody said, well, how do you protect against that? I can't. That's what you got stops for. All right. But I will tell you that that was a candlestick pattern known as a shooting star, which could have showed a possible reversal of which you got the next day. And currently the stock's price is below the 20-day exponential moving average, and RT is below 1. And the last stock, AT&T, is just going the heck in the handbasket. Look at it just fall, fall, fall. All right. Any questions on the mobile carriers in regards to 5G phones coming out? Let me know. All right. While that's going on, don't forget, if you like the content of what we're going through right now, you know something? I didn't say this earlier. Share this live stream on your social media. You never know who might be wanting to tune in. All right. And again, this is real analysis. This is not what Glenn thinks about any of these stocks. It's definitely not what Joey thinks about any of these stocks. Joey, what do you think about these stocks? Don't listen. I'm just going to try and tell you, because when Joey starts to talk, you say, so Joey, what do you think about that stock? That's exactly what happens. You just stop. And then afterwards you go, because that's what Joey, you'd be like, what are you talking about? And then if you listen to what Joey says and you buy those stocks, that's what happens. So it's not about what I say about the stocks. Everything for me is heavily leaning on the power of the VectorVest software. All right, no questions? All right, so make sure as we continue to go around, hit the like button, folks. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, please subscribe. This makes our upper management so that they can see that we are growing the business, at least from a social media standpoint.
There was a question at the end of the last story that I told them that you would answer.
What's the question?
It was for you to recap the 3 and the 8.
To recap the 3 and the 8. All right. So if I go look at the stock graph, let's go to the stock graph. Let's go put this on a 3-month graph. What is the 3 and the 8? 2 moving averages. I'll just kick off the 20. 2 moving averages, a 3 and an 8 exponential moving average. Let's go change my layout. 3 and an 8 exponential moving average for the purposes of getting in and out of a stock. They're fast indicators, fast moving averages. They do a good job of helping you stay in a trending stock, but they will get you in and out faster. Thus the reason why, for the purposes of the majority of the people in the room, instead of using that faster moving average, I've now come down to using the 20-day exponential moving average, which does a good job from the standpoint of helping you out. Where did I just do? There it is, the EMA 20. It's a good way from a middle-of-the-road investor to know when it's okay or not okay to be in. The 3 and the 8 are faster indicators that can be used for either day trading or swing trading. All right.
Layout.
Huh?
What layout?
I had to create that. This is not a layout in the software. What I had to do in order to add those moving averages, I had to go to the price box to the right, right-click on it to add the moving average. It is exponential. I click on the number 10 because 3 is not there or 8 is not there. I do it again. Right click, add moving average, exponential, 10. So I'm going to uncheck. Those are already unchecked. Now at the bottom of my parameter list, I've got 2 EMA 10s. Hit the drop down, take that to a 3. Hit the drop down, take that to an 8. And then bada boom, bada bing, they're now on my graph.